Shalom, Shtiebel Wonder Gardeners. This is Rabbi Ben coming to you with your second preparation video for the Shtiebel Wonder Garden Academy. This week we will be studying Hachnasat Orechim, welcoming guests, or also known as hospitality. This is the attribute of being welcoming to people who visit you and welcoming people into your home. We're going to be doing this in the context of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham was the first forefather of the Jewish people, as was Sarah the first foremother of the Jewish people. And Abraham was known for his hospitality, Hachnasat Orechim. And there's some famous texts with him inviting in guests. So I want to begin, though, just by pointing everybody to an article that I would like you to all read. If you're able, if you're too young, there are some videos at the end of this article to watch. And the article can be found here, myjewishlearning.com/article/Jewish-hospitality. And it talks about Abraham, and it talks about some Talmud quotes as well that we will be looking at, particularly with the geeks. So if everybody could take a look at this page, that would be great. And Abraham is also associated with the quality called chesed, chet samech dalet, which means love without limits. And so this idea of inviting people into your home and having hospitality is very closely connected with the idea of love, which is chesed, which is a different kind of love than the love we talked about in our last session, ahava, aleph hey, bet hey, which is sort of a generic love. Chesed is a very intense love without limits. It's almost like a godly love. It is boundless love. So I just want to point everybody first to this article, then to these videos at the end of the article. They're sort of geared towards younger kids, but even you older kids may be interested to watch them. And then another thing I'd like to point you to is Shtiebel.net/texts. I have uploaded the texts for our session, and I have done it with a password. So I'm already signed in here with the texts. But if you go to this page, www.shtiebel.net/texts, you'll be prompted to enter a password. The password is WONDER, WONDER, and you'll be taken to this page where it says Texts for Hospitality. And first you'll see this text about a man named Plimo, who is visited by a guest, and he doesn't treat him very well, and in the end he ends up having a bad situation for himself, and fleeing to a bathroom. It's a very weird, interesting story. So please read that story. And that's a number of pages here. And then we have some pages from a wonderful book called Teaching Jewish Virtues, and this chapter is on Hachnasat Orechim, or hospitality. I would like you to read this overview here, and then some of the texts here. The first one is a text about Abraham, the one you see right here, Genesis 18:1-5, about how he invited in these three guests who happened to be angels. And then there's another text here about Lot, who also invited in the same angels as guests, and then a text here about Rebecca, who invites in guests, or in particular Eliezer, who is the servant of Abraham who goes to find a wife for Isaac. So then we have some texts here that are rabbinic texts from the rabbinic period. This one is about Rab Huna and how he invited in guests. And then there's a short one here, very short, from the Passover Haggadah, where we say, let all who are hungry come and eat. So that's sort of our generic invite to people to come to our house. Here's another one, let your house be open, let the poor be members of your household. So I would like you to read these texts here, and then this one here. And then there's a really great piece here about what a good guest, how a good guest acts versus a bad guest. I would encourage you to read that. And then as sort of a counterpoint, there's a text here. Rabbi says people should not invite too many friends to their house. As it is written, there are friends that people have to their own hurt. Proverbs 18:24, and that's from Brachot 63a. And so it could lead to an interesting discussion. What are the limits of hospitality? What are the limits of inviting people into your house? There's also the question, is it a value to show hospitality toward ourselves? And Hillel, there's this quote from Hillel here that I'd like you to read about that. And if you could, that's really all that I will require you to read. But if you could also, or if you're also interested, please read these other texts that I've posted here. There are also some lists of activities that people can do to sort of reinforce this idea of Hachnasat Orechim. Our pathway activities will be loosely based on some of these that are written here. We will have Caleb Goldstick again with the bards. This week we're going to have Aaron Walker be in charge of the geeks, and I will be overseeing all three groups, and Crystal Kanasaka again on the makers. I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday, 3:30 to 5 p.m. We're going to be meeting back at the Zion Episcopal Church, 55 Cedar Street. And please I encourage you to have read these texts. I'm also going to be sending out a quiz on Google Forms to make sure that you get some of these key concepts that are mentioned in these texts and that I've mentioned in this video. I look forward to seeing you all again. Rabbi Ben,